Hey guys, and welcome back to season 3 of The Art of Beauty. Hi! So today, it's actually just going to be me and Nita.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about something that's quite close to the both of us, huh?
Yes, correct.
But traumatizing. So we're going to be talking about trauma today, essentially.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about
acne.
I think I've literally spoken about my acne probably every season. Well, there's only been 3, but like I've talked about it a lot, like my journey with it and stuff like that, but like I don't think I've ever like delved into it properly. Like, when did it start, how did I get it, what was like my, I guess, my plan of action when it comes to it, and like how it deeply affected me. And I understand that you went through
Yes, I did.
phase. Yes, exactly. I think like everyone goes through. I mean, if you don't go through like an acne phase, then
You're
like,
lucky. You're 1 in a million.
all right,
Yes.
you know. But yeah, some of us had a really traumatic times. Do you want to start first, or
Sure, I can.
Yeah, we're having a today. So today's essentially a therapy session, guys.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking
Yasmin's
about
my therapist today.
Yes, we're consoling each other.
Yes.
About our trauma. So
Correct.
So yeah, do you want to start first?
Yeah,
Or?
I think I got my first acne. I'm not an acne type of person where you get the cystic one.
Okay, got you.
But I'm more of a whitehead type of person.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
I started
okay.
getting that when I was 13, and being in amongst a class where everybody had good skin, so it was. Yeah, you can say it's traumatizing, and sometimes you
Yeah.
just don't want to go to school because you don't have good skin. And I had oily skin. This was a time where kids don't know much about makeup yet. You're not so exposed on how to contour, how to wear concealer in school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It wasn't that time yet, so
Yeah.
I wasn't knowledgeable in terms of you can actually hide your acne with makeup. But
Yeah.
of course, as a 13-year-old, it's just not advisable, right?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, oh my god.
Did you wear makeup in school secretly?
So like I remember this, honestly, I remember this clear as day, yeah. Do you guys know like the Body Shop like tea tree concealer? I don't
Yeah.
know what the exact word is, but it's like a stick concealer, and I was obsessed with it when I was like in, I think like year 6, year 7, year 8. And then I stopped using it when I was in year 9. That was like my holy grail for 3 years.
Best
I don't
concealer
know.
of all time.
Best concealer of all time at the time. And honestly, I don't know what business I had using concealer like in school at that time. So, unlike Nita, my acne actually came a lot later in life. So it started when I was
20.
21, 22.
How lucky
22
is that?
actually.
That is so lucky.
Yeah, but then like, well, no one's really getting it around that time. Or I felt like a lot of my friends had already gotten out of that acne phase. So like my face was like a wreck for like no apparent business. Okay, so when I was still in school, I moved away when I was 14, and I was in a drier country, and I had oily skin. So like it did wonders for my skin. And then when I moved back to KL, obviously it's hot, humid,
Yes.
a bit muggy, and my skin screamed at me when I came back and
Wow.
was like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
See, it's the opposite for me because if I go to a colder climate, my skin becomes really dry. But
Right.
somehow Malaysia weather's the best. Thank you, Malaysia.
Really?
Yes.
See, like I mean, now I feel like my skin has adapted to Malaysian
Weather?
weather. Well, yeah, it's because I've been living here for like 4 years now. And also like I switched up like my skincare routine and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into that like
Yes.
later on. So it came during a really. I was like, why now? Like, why now
Understand.
of all times? Like, again,
It's like an extended awkward phase
yeah,
moment.
exactly. Like I was like, why are you here?
Yeah, but
leave.
not everyone in high school goes through that awkward phase.
Yo, there are
which is-
some people who never get acne in
They-
their lives
until
you know?
today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So jealous. So jealous. Yeah, so I had cystic acne.
You did?
Yes, I did. It wasn't like, yeah, I had like whiteheads and stuff like that, but I had like proper full blown cystic acne, and like dalam my face, like, you know, kecil, and like it was so it was so obvious, you know, because I mean, you can put as much makeup as you like.
Yes, but
And
the bumps
there
are...
is no amount of makeup that can cover up texture.
Yes, correct.
And that was like something that I only realized quite late. Because I would wear like super, super cakey foundation, thinking like, oh my God, like I can cover it up. Yeah, like at night it looks alright, you know, maybe if you're going for dinner and the place is a bit dim. But during the broad daylight, oh honey, oh no, it doesn't hide anything.
How did you hide the scars that you had from cystic acne?
So I mean, I guess I was pretty lucky as well that they weren't
Deep.
Yeah, they weren't deep. They weren't those
sunken.
It's a pitted scars. Is
Okay.
that what it's called? I can't remember the right terminology for it, but like, yeah, they weren't the ones that like were permanent. I guess the ones that like they create.
Yes, I think sunken. Yeah.
Sunken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like pitted acne like scars or something like that. But
But I think what's great about today's technology is that you can actually go for laser and fix that.
yeah, and your skin like what?
Correct.
Like regenerates or something.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
right,
what's
right.
the exact treatment that
Right.
it's called, but there is a technology for that now.
Right.
Yeah. Even for me, I do have acne scars even until today, so I go for pico laser, and that really helps to somehow lighten the skin, lighten the acne
Right.
scars.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And what is Pico? Pico?
Yeah, pico.
Okay, pico.
Pico is the best thing. I think if I'm at this age where I only discovered it last year, but I feel that if I had known about it 10 years ago, which did not exist, I think it would have given me a lot of confidence from way back then.
Yeah.
Because I feel that with pico, it really suppresses all the acne that I have inside, I guess.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct. So
okay.
I rarely get a breakout now, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, hopefully.
Yes.
Sometimes, do you get this thing where you don't want to talk about you not having acne?
I'm literally the exact same. Sometimes like
The minute you talk about it, it will
yeah,
come.
you jinx it, right?
Yes.
I'm the exact same. Sometimes like my mom makes comments being like, oh, like your skin, and I'm like, oh, no.
Don't say
No,
it.
don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm exactly
I
the
almost
same.
don't like it when people make comments about
Really?
my skin. Yeah, because
that-
I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a manifestation thing or it is like a pantang larang where you cannot mention
Yeah.
that your skin is doing good today.
Yes,
I don't know what it
yes,
is, but my
yes.
cousin, she always had great skin. Never had a pimple ever in her life. And there was this one day I said, "Your skin is so nice. Your skin is so nice." And she said, "Don't say it, Nita, please." And the next day she had a pimple.
Really? The world works in mysterious ways. The universe is weird that way.
Exactly.
But like I'm literally the exact same when
Same.
it comes to that. Yeah.
I don't know whether it's our culture or...
I don't know. I think it's because we went through such a hard time
Correct.
with acne. So like now that it's gone, it's like let's just like not.
Yeah. I think it's
talk
part of the
about it.
trauma as well, where you're afraid to acknowledge that you have good skin, that you don't want to go back to
that. Yeah.
experience anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think like in hindsight, maybe I look back on it a little bit and be like, oh, like it was just acne, you know? Like so many people go through it as well. And not just acne, just like any skin ting, right?
Yeah.
But I remember like at the time I was just so frustrated because like at the time I didn't know what to do because I didn't know what was wrong with my skin. I didn't know what I was doing, if I was doing anything to make it that way.
Yes.
I was trying all sorts of stuff, and like, you know, too much of anything is not a good thing. I don't know what the exact saying is, but like, do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yes.
Like I remember like I had like this like 10-step like skincare routine nonsense. Like
Nonsense.
If you do have like 10 steps, 12 steps, 14 steps, like good for you, boo, do what you do. But like for me, less is more. I've realized that now.
Yes.
But back then I was like chucking on Oh my god, I
It's part of the
remember.
trend as well. It's the whole
Yeah.
Korean 10-step thing. I mean, it's great for them, but I think people forget that it suits their climate.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works for you here, that's good, but it doesn't work for a lot of us as well. But for them, I think it suits their climate better because I feel that we live in such a humid country that less is more.
Less is more. Yeah, less is more. And like I think some people do still like to do that 10-step routine thing like at night, right? Just like sort of like as
I'm
a
too lazy for
self-care.
that.
Yeah, me too. But like as like a self-care like pamper routine kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like chucking on God knows what, honestly. Like it was like I would do like a salicylic acid face wash and
Yes.
then I'd wear like vitamin C and then sometimes like I'd use like a retinol.
Yes.
So I was like piling on
Everything.
in a desperate attempt to like save my skin. But what it was actually doing, which I later realized, was that it was ruining it like even more.
Correct.
Even more,
'Cause
right?
You're stressing out your skin with too many ingredients.
many things,
on
yeah.
top of each other. I think what I realized as well that when I had simpler skincare, my skin got better.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now I only use Cetaphil.
Okay.
And also the Cetaphil moisturizer, which is so crazy because like 5-10 years ago I would like splurge so much on skincare.
Yeah.
Sometimes this brand and that brand, and then I realized that you can't jump too many brands too soon.
Yeah.
Because with skincare you have to kind of let it simmer a little bit.
Let it do its thing,
Correct.
right?
Let it like let it relax a little bit. Maybe 1 or 2 months, then you can see the results. But if you're impatient like me, you jump from this brand to that brand in such a short period of time, you can't see the results. And that's the thing with skincare though. You don't know what's good for you until you try it.
Yeah.
That's also like a double-edged sword where
It's trial and error.
it's trial and error, but it's such an expensive trial and error
Yeah.
where you have to go through such a bad experience, the flare-ups and the acne to be able to know what suits your skin at the end.
Yes, yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think like at the time when I was just trying to find like a solution, I was splurging so much like on skincare.
And
Honestly,
skincare is not cheap.
it's not cheap.
It is not,
It's really,
especially
really
the
not
10
cheap.
steps one, 3, 4, 5 steps.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
think about like how many toners and how many serums that you're incorporating into that one step, and like
Yeah.
it can actually be reduced down so much. But like
Yes.
I was literally trying everything from like drugstore to like Sephora was like my place. It was like my home. Yeah.
Supermarket.
Yeah, supermarket, honestly. Yeah, it's because I was just so desperate I just needed to get rid of it. I don't
Yes.
want to see it anymore. I don't
And
want
I'm
to wake up in
easily,
the morning.
I'm
see
easily
it.
influenced, by the way. When I go into Sephora, I'm like, oh, it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to get
yeah,
it.
you just take like whatever like you see, right? Or
Yeah.
like if you hear someone recommending it, it's like, oh yeah, maybe it'll work for me too. But then what
Correct.
you end up doing is like you just this thing on top of this thing on top of this thing on top of this
Correct.
thing, and then it's like
If you buy one thing, you have to buy the other one as well.
yes.
So it complements each other. So that's the expensive side of skincare.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So so I was just desperate to like get rid of it, because it was frustrating.
Yeah.
I was upset. I was so upset with it, and at the time I felt like I am literally never gonna get rid of it because the weather is the weather, right?
Yes.
Like I can't control the weather, so I need to just accept it. But obviously I didn't want to accept it. But like how did you deal with like your acne phase? Like how did you feel about it? Because like obviously I had acne like a little bit later on in my life, but Nita had it a lot earlier on. Like you were a teenager,
Yeah,
right?
especially like during your dating moments where you have to
Right.
go out with a guy, and then if you have to go on a date, and then suddenly you have this pimple, and you're like,
So
should I cancel it?
self-conscious.
Correct. It makes you become so self-conscious to the point where, I mean, looking back, it's so silly, isn't it? Where you can't even go out because you don't feel your best self.
Yeah.
But I just feel that just go out, just go, because at the end of it, nobody cares about it except for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel that nobody pays so much attention to you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because we are so self-conscious to the point where we feel that everybody's looking at you. Everybody's like, I think that's the whole idea that I think if I could go back and tell my younger self, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it's because we're so used to like seeing our face in the mirror that like we are so nitpicky
Yeah.
about it, right? So like we are gonna be our own worst critic.
Yes.
And that means that we'll notice every little tiny thing on our face.
Yes.
But in actual fact, no one else can see it.
Correct. And I think
So-
that is also related to self-love in a sense where if you love yourself first, then it's very hard for that to translate on the outside and for you to transfer that energy to other people. Because there's this misconception where self-love is selfish, but it's not.
No, I don't think it's selfish.
Yeah,
Not
because
at all.
there's so much love to give to everybody.
Yeah.
Including yourself.
Especially yourself.
Yes. I mean, I can say that right now, but 10 years ago, I mean, it's easier said than done. But I know that a lot of young people out there are going through that phase right now where, especially now, social media, it's at its peak.
Yeah, we've talked about social media so much throughout
Yeah.
like the past, episodes that we've had on this on
And
this
I
season.
admit there are some times that I edit my photos where, you can use the acne tool where
Right.
you can have the whole clear skin, what do you call
Right,
it? Clear
right, right.
skin
This is Facetune?
tool. I think so. It's Facetune, and you can actually zap out your acne.
Right.
It's the best thing.
But this is transparency, right? And the thing is, like, so many people on social media do it. Well, I mean, we've covered this so much, like in the previous episodes about how we just need to like be a bit more aware of like social media and how essentially it's a business, right? Like when influencers post like photos and stuff like that, they're literally like their face is everything. So I completely agree with you when you say that like it's this whole like acne thing. It's really it has a massive impact like on your self-esteem.
Yes.
In hindsight, obviously we look back because we've gotten out of it.
Yes.
Have we? Yeah. I mean, I
Almost
would,
there.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Like we said before, right? Don't want to make comments about that. So yeah, don't want to jinx it, right? Touch wood. But it makes a massive impact on like your self-esteem, your self-confidence, right?
Yes.
Because like you're so self-conscious about your face and like
Yep.
how people are looking at you and stuff like that. A lot of people are going through it. So like
If
in
I-
hindsight,
Yeah.
it seems like such a like non-issue, but there are
But
literally
it's a huge issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's something that kind of paralyzes your confidence.
yeah.
At such a pivotal moment in your life where
Yeah.
you're
Especially
you're
if you're a
growing
teenager,
up.
right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
growing up. You're like second guessing yourself all the time.
Like people get bullied for it.
Oh,
they
yes.
get made fun of for
Yes.
it, and the thing is, it's on your face, right? Like that's not much you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, and
so
and there are some people who go through textured skin even as an adult.
Yeah.
And I feel that, I mean, it's something that we all take for granted because textured skin is not something that everybody can fix.
yeah,
Correct. So
yeah, you could do like resurfacing treatments and stuff like that,
Yes.
but it's not guaranteed to be, like it was like before,
Yeah.
right?
And I mean, it's about working with what you have because I think that there's no point in hiding yourself away from people.
Yeah.
Just go out there and just be as confident as you can. It's easier said than done, but I think it comes with practice as well. But if I could go back in time, I would tell myself, just go to the dermatologist instead
ASAP,
of
instead of trying to figure it out
ASAP.
yourself.
Correct. Do not figure it out for yourself because there's no point reading this article and you think, oh, this skincare set is good for me. But just, I think for me, the simpler it is, the better. This is my own personal view, where if you go straight to the dermatologist, it can help you so much and can save so much money rather than you going to the store and figuring out yourself.
Yeah.
It's like going to a doctor, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, dermatologists are
Doctors.
so they are meant to.
I don't know.
do
That's
help you
the
with that.
confusing part where why do we figure out our skin for ourselves? But when it comes to the entire part of the body, when we're
Yeah.
sick, we go to the doctor.
Doctor.
But when it comes to our skin, why do we think,
Let me self-diagnose
Let me
first."
self-diagnose. Maybe this one is
Yeah.
good for me.
With that being said, like we also acknowledge that going to the esthetician or dermatologist can also be seen as a privilege. So we don't take that for granted, and but at the same time, like when it's really past the point of like, you really don't know what to do about it, and it's always better to seek professional help.
Yes.
I mean, like we're literally like we're not professionals either. Do you know what I mean? So we're literally just talking about like through our own experiences, like how we felt and like what we went through. But like at the end of the day, we are not here to give you professional advice.
Yes.
All right.
Although that is also a gamble where if you go to a dermatologist, sometimes they prescribe you with medication that can also alter your emotional.
So we're talking about Accutane here. We're talking about Accutane.
Yes.
So did you go on Accutane?
I did.
Okay,
Actually, that really helped me on the outside. But on the inside, I felt that I would say I'm a stable person emotionally.
Right,
but when I was on it, this is my personal experience, my highs were high and my lows were like low.
Really low.
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes you would just cry extra when you're on it. Yeah.
Okay,
and you get like, you just don't want to go out, you'll be in bed and you're just like, you have these thoughts where you're not good enough and things like that. Everybody has that, but it's somehow heightened when you're on the pill.
Okay, so we're gonna get into like the actual treatment of like what we like did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so I was offered Roaccutane quite a few times, and I said no every single time.
Why?
Because I know that I wouldn't have been able to hack that exact thing that you were talking about, the highs being really, really high and the lows being really, really low. I'm a person who gets stressed out really easily. I get upset about things. Like when I'm sad, I'm really, 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 really sad. And I also get anxious as well. So I didn't want to take that like it just wasn't a risk that I was personally willing to take.
Yes, that's a good move actually. That's very good move.
I mean, I think with like something like Accutane, right, like you also need to self-evaluate, right? You need to look at yourself and be like, are you willing to,
can you handle it,
can you hack it or not? And like personally, I knew that no matter how many times I was offered it throughout my life, it was just going to be a no, just because I know myself. And I knew that it just wasn't going to be pretty. It was going to be really, really ugly.
Yes.
In terms of, maybe this one on the outside, like it would have helped speed things up for me instead of me having to take a couple of years to figure it out. But on the inside, I just knew it would have wrecked me. For however long I was going to be on it, and it just wasn't something I was willing, or honestly, I personally don't think that I was strong enough to go through that. So props to you for actually like sticking through it and like getting through the treatment and stuff like that. But yeah, it just wasn't for me.
I took Accutane when it wasn't so well known, and the side effects, it wasn't something that people talked about in Malaysia. But later on, I found out that there are cases of suicide when people were on it. I mean, globally. I think that also speaks volumes on how a particular medication can really alter how you feel. And sometimes it's just not you.
And
but I loved how it made me feel though, on the outside.
outside.
The hack is, for me to feel good on the Accutane, is that I drink lots of water. You just have to drink lots and lots and lots of it.
Interesting.
For me, somehow it makes you feel emotionally more stable.
Really?
Yes, because I feel that if you take it on an
empty stomach
or lack of water, it can really make you jumpy and antsy. Yes. Or is it just me?
I mean it's your experience. Like,
yes.
Maybe there are people out there, like, let us know, you know, if you felt the exact same way.
Correct. But you are somehow not yourself. When things are okay, you don't feel it. But when there's a time when you become angry or you're sad, that's it. It will attack you. Really? It will just attack you, yes. And when you cry, you'll cry like a normal person without it. But with the Accutane, somehow you're just like
you're just all emotions are just heightened, basically.
Correct. And it's actually such a dangerous thing if you can't handle it. I mean now as an adult, if I were to take it now, I don't want to take it.
So you think that you wouldn't take it now?
Yeah, because I feel that there are other ways that alternatives that I can somehow make my skin stabilized. But as a teenager, it's very risky for them to take it, especially when someone is growing up. And
so you wouldn't recommend it?
But I will say this though, it clears up your skin like nothing else.
Right.
Which is such a
that's the
such
thing,
a catch, right?
Yeah.
It's such a catch. But at the same time, you have to be careful, and like I said just now, drink loads of water,
Right.
because sometimes you just become really irresponsible and you think, I'll just take it and I'm not going to take care of myself. And you don't realize that diet also plays a huge role in your skincare, in your skin.
Yeah, I completely agree with that point.
But
the diet definitely plays such a huge
But
point.
the medication, it helped so many people, but take it at your own risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure that you're like learning up like on the side effects and stuff like, and that's why like seeking professional help is like so important.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Accutane, self-evaluate as well. Like literally look into yourself and be like, are you
Correct.
the way that I like question myself?
Yes.
And then you're either you either make Nita's choice or you make mine, which is
correct. And also another choice that we have to make is actually our diet as well. I think it's such an underrated equation of
I
the
completely
of
agree.
the skin, because I
completely
feel
agree.
that it can really make or break your skin and acne as well.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some articles that say there's no correlation whatsoever with what you eat and what appears on your skin. What acne and diet.
Yeah, no, I
for me,
no.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so for me, the way that I cleared up my skin, yes, I did go to a dermatologist who helped me figure out what out of all of the skincare I was using was working for me and what wasn't. She told me, like, for example, I need to stay away from like all the like the heavy creams, like the creams with like
dairy.
No. As in like I'm talking about skincare first. Yeah.
I was-
So like I'm
Someone's
just,
hungry.
Someone's hungry. Sorry. Yeah. So she just helped me figure out like what was working for me and what wasn't. But then I then figured out as well that dairy was a no-go for me back in uni, which was when I started to get like things were like popping up like on my skin. It wasn't in like full force, but this was a habit I developed in uni, and then I brought it back with me here. Okay, so we did an episode with Amanda Yamani, right? And I was talking to her about milk. I used to drink milk by the cartons
On its own.
so like back in uni you could get like really tiny like little jugs basically, and I would just chug it straight from the jug.
Oh my god.
I don't know, I just really like milk. I don't know why. And I used to chug that like once every like 2-3 days or something. It was weird. It was a weird thing that I used to do.
You drank it once a day or once every 2 days?
No, once every like 2-3 days.
Okay.
Just because like I just really like
Okay.
this like particular like milk in a carton jug thingy, and
Can
I would
imagine,
just
yeah.
straight like I wasn't even I wouldn't even put it in like a cup or whatever, straight from the jug. And then I stopped doing that, and I swapped out regular milk with almond milk and like oat milk and stuff like that. Coconut milk I tried. And
You did it with no intention about
no,
acne
I
at all.
didn't. I was just like, why not? You know what I mean? And it helped me so much. It really, really did. And then I realized, I was like, oh, actually, like what I'm putting into my body has an impact on like what's coming out like here. Because
Yes.
like obviously skin, like your skin is literally an organ. I think I've said this before in like a previous episode as well. Your skin is literally an organ.
that is an important
thing
thing to emphasize on.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like you also like watch what you eat, and staying hydrated as well. I think like my treatment at the end of the day, the reason why I never saw like Accutane as an option really was because I knew there were so many other alternatives that I needed to look at before. It was always my last resort. Accutane was always my last resort. If I was like super, super, super desperate, like I wasn't willing to like jump straight into it. I tried some like is it retinols or like vitamin A stuff? Didn't work for me. benzoyl peroxide stuff didn't work for me.
But for me, benzoyl peroxide works.
Oh, okay. Benzoyl peroxide
it's actually
too strong for me.
Really?
Too strong. Yeah.
Oh,
I have really sensitive
that
skin.
helped clear up my whiteheads.
Okay.
Because I don't know whether you remember, there's this brand called Proactive.
Okay, right. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
It worked for me.
Wasn't Justin Bieber like a spokesperson for like?
I used it before Justin Bieber. Okay.
But he did, right? Like I swear he was, right?
He
was
and
a
Kendall
brand
Jenner
ambassador.
as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes, Proactive has been around in Malaysia for quite a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, but at that time, you can only order it online, and they will ship it from US. And I think there was a part there was a phase in my life where when I was 13 to 14, I used Proactive, and everyone complimented my skin. I was like, what do you do to your skin? And then like I think shipment takes so long from the US,
Up
and
in
I
the
stopped
US.
using it. And when I stopped using benzoyl peroxide, and my skin went back to normal.
Right.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, no, my skin hates benzoyl peroxide. It's way too strong for me. I remember I tried it once. I got like this CeraVe. I think CeraVe has like a face wash with benzoyl peroxide in it. My skin blew up. Oh my god, it was so bad. I remember like I didn't even realize. I think I'd woken up late and I was supposed to have lunch like with my whole family.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even like go to the bathroom to check my face.
Yeah.
I only realized what had happened to my face when like my family pointed out like, yo, what's up with that? And I was like, wait, what? And then I actually looked at myself in the mirror and I saw that like I was bengkak lah. Like my skin hated it. So my alternative...
Did it was it cystic acne, or was it like...
Oh no. It was just there was just a massive reaction. Like my skin just hated it.
It was red?
It was red. It was red.
my
It was bengkak.
God.
Like it was bad. So my go-to usually, like back when I still had acne, was salicylic acid. I love salicylic acid.
I need to try that.
So good. My favorite salicylic acid like skincare is the Inky List salicylic acid face wash.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's so good, and the great thing is it's affordable as well.
Yes.
The Inky List is pretty affordable.
It's
You
kind
can
of
get
like
it
The
from
Ordinary,
Sephora.
right?
Yeah, so it's on par with The Ordinary. I prefer the Inky List in comparison to The Ordinary. Personally. And that like helped my skin so much.
What do you think of this whole concept of you have to try the skincare first, give it a few days after the flare-up, meaning you have to keep using it for the flare-ups to die down?
Oh, yeah.
Do you believe in
like,
that?
Yeah, because there's no like one way to like... You can't expect it to like work on you like after like a day. Do you know what I mean?
But that's
It
the
doesn't
thing with
work
me. I
that
don't
way.
have the patience to, because the minute I have a flare up or
just
a
want it to go.
breakout, I just want to throw it
Yeah.
away because I just don't believe in it anymore.
Right,
Yeah, but the thing is, there are some experiences from people that the minute they have a breakout, they'll just keep using it for for your skin to become acclimated to it.
Yeah, and I think, and that's where like patience plays such a huge... Patience is key, and that's what I realized as well. I was like, I think before I used to have the same mindset as you, where like if I don't see results within the first like 2-3 days, I'm like, next. But like I realized later on that I actually have to give that product a proper shot.
Yes.
To just do its thing, and let it... Yeah, just let it...
Give it
like,
a chance.
To actually let it, clear out my skin or do whatever, it's doing on my skin and stuff like that. So actually just switching up my skincare and like just working with my dermatologist to, just do the usual like facials, like properly clean my face and stuff like that. And then eventually like my skin just healed. Yeah, honestly, it was... So honestly, for me, I didn't even need to go so far as to touch Accutane. It was honestly more about...
Manageable.
Yeah, it was a lot more manageable. Thank God.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Like, all I needed to do really was just look at my products and just be like, okay, no, this is not good for me. Okay, that's good for me. Okay, this is really, really bad for me and stuff like that. And
Do you wear sunscreen?
every single day. Girl, every single day.
I hated wearing sunscreen because some of the textures are just too thick. back then.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some. It gives like this white cast where sometimes it just it changes your skin tone.
Yes.
But I found this brand. It was just really good. I think we wear the same thing.
Yes.
I think we mentioned it before.
Yes,
it's called the
we
Beauty of
have.
Joseon,
Yeah.
which is the viral. I mean, obviously the reason why it's viral is because it's so good.
So good. So
and I
good.
love the texture. And I use it for makeup base right now.
Yeah, I think sunscreen plays a huge part in acne as well.
Really?
100%. Oh no, as in like to help prevent acne. If you find the right sunscreen that works for you, it plays such a huge part in preventing acne, because like you can use like all the chemicals and whatever you want like at night. It does not count whatsoever if you don't use the sunscreen the next day to protect your skin.
Yeah.
Because then everything that you did the night before is completely void. Like it doesn't count.
Yeah, I do hear some people who do wear sunscreen when they sleep because of the lights in their house.
Wow.
Yeah, to that level.
Okay, a bit over lah. This one I think a bit over lah. I don't know.
I might try it though. Why
I mean,
not? Because I like the
you know
texture
what?
so much.
You can try it. You let me know. I will not be doing that because
Acne free.
Yeah, I mean, like luckily I found like sunscreens that like help, worked for me, didn't clog my skin.
Yes.
And
Do you know
stuff
that
like
lights are also SPF?
Yes, technically. Yeah. Just make sure y'all wear your sunscreen. I think at the end of the day, what we're trying to say, share with like our acne chit chat here, therapy session here, is that make sure to find out like what works for you.
Yeah. And don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. There's always a solution.
Yeah. I think
there's always a solution.
It took us years to figure out
100%.
what works. Because what works for you might not work for someone else.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Exactly. Which is why I want to reiterate, we are not professionals. We're merely sharing.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yes, take it all with like a grain of salt. And yeah, we're just sharing like what we went through. But I think what we can share with everyone else as well is that, there's a solution, and it's not a quick fix. It's a long process sometimes. It's a very lengthy and sometimes very sad and painful process. But we're there with you, okay? We're holding your hand through it.
Yes.
And you got it, girl. You
And
got
it's
it, dude.
Yes, nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, there is nothing to be ashamed of, like, whatsoever. I think it's so common to have acne. It's a phase that loads of people go through in their life.
I think everybody has acne at one
Yeah,
point
at
in
some
their
point
life.
in their life.
Yeah.
If you
Maybe not
don't,
today,
then like great.
Yes,
but
correct.
like, yeah, make sure you do your own research. Make sure you go and seek a professional when the time comes for it. And you got it, boo. You got this. So on that note, we're gonna wrap things up here. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And any final words? Any final thoughts? Any final
Drink
things
lots
to
of
share?
water, kids.
Yeah. That's it? Yeah, okay, fine. Drink loads of water. Wear your sunscreen, for God's sake. Like, don't skip out on that. Come on. Bantang tao. And like I said, you got this.
Yes.
Trust the process.
Everybody has acne, okay?
Exactly. And trust the process. You got this. Anyway, we'll catch you next week on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.